Welcome to the Performer Radio Show. Each week, we interview some of the most interesting people in the fashion and entertainment industries. Fashion and entertainment industries. Beautiful models, singers, comedians, dancers, fashion designers, actors, beauty queens, and many more. Right here on the Performer Radio Show.
And welcome to another edition of the Performer Radio Show on DirtyWaterNews.com, PerformerRadio.com, UR Business Network, and TuneIn.com if you have TuneIn in your car. My name is Mike Zotos, and I have again with me the lovely Amarie Ortiz.
Hello.
Fresh from New York,
yes.
Where you just finished a huge music video you were shooting there this past weekend, right?
Yeah, I did. I did a music video for the artist Sade. He has a really big buzz going on right now. Very, super talented.
Oh yeah, what was he drinking this past weekend during St. Patrick's Day?
We did it.
You said he had a big buzz going on.
Oh.
I'm just like, we're coming out of St. Patrick's Day weekend, so I was like, okay, that's a good.
Yeah, sadly I missed it in Boston.
Yeah, you did. Well, I mean, originally when we talked last week, you were planning on being here.
This was already booked before, but I wasn't thinking of the date. You know, in long term, you don't really think about it, and then it showed up. But I did get to see a little bit of how New York. I went to the parade, a little bit of the parade on Monday, New York, the St. Patrick's Parade. It's not. I like it in Boston better. I'm Team Boston. The St. Patrick's Day, the celebration is just better to me than it
Was it a little more spread out in New York?
That's what I mean. It's spread out, and some people are dressed up, some people are not, and then you have to catch people on different time. It's just, it's not the same feel. Like back home, everyone knows they gather in the same area, and everyone's going to the same bars, and everyone's dressed up, and wherever you go crazy, and it's just the vibe is more intense, but I like it that way.
So, what did you experience in New York as far as St. Patrick's Day is concerned? I mean, did you go to different bars or?
Well, I only went for a few hours before we left. We left Monday late afternoon. So I hung out with a bunch of my college friends that were in town for the parade, and we went to like 3. It was really funny. We were like the life of the party in every place we went. Some guy gave us like $85 to go buy drinks on him. We were like, you don't have to give us money, but he loved us so much, like our energy. He goes, here, get your drinks for you and all the girls.
So you girls were actually showing up the New Yorkers down there, showing them how St. Patrick's Day.
We were so much more lively because we have so much fun with it over here that over there New Yorkers, didn't have the energy that we did.
Well, I mean, New York is a big city, and they don't have as big probably as Irish population as maybe Boston does in terms of percentage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So probably to them it's a little bit of a lesser holiday than it is here in the Boston area.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know it's pretty big in Chicago too. They turn the river green there and everything else like that. I can imagine if the Charles River turned green, people wouldn't even notice it.
Oh, seriously.
Dirty water. Get
seriously.
it? That's where dirty water came from.
That's true.
I love that dirty water. They were talking about the Charles River.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is kind of funny when you think about it. But now let me go back to the music video. Now, this was a video where they were kind of like simulating the life in your day, your fictitious day. Mm-hmm. You had to go. What, you were a little like a dancer at some point?
Yeah, it starts off me in the dance studio, and then I change, and really I'm walking through Boston, kind of like getting home type of thing. And it's
through New York, you mean?
New York, sorry. In New York. So it's me getting out of, and it's me on it's all the main sites in New York, Times Square, Grand Central Park, me in a T, taking the T from the dance class to the thing. It's like following me an entire day, walking down tons of like streets in New York, and he's doing the same. Separately, we don't know each other, and in some of the scenes you see me like on the T, we're riding, he's on one side, on the other, so we one time we pass each other on the streets, but we don't notice each other. It's kind of one of those, we've come together in our lives but don't know each other at all, me and the artist Sade.
Oh, so it's like a parallel lives kind of thing. Actually, so they didn't have what's called a meet cute.
We didn't. So it was originally supposed to have a meet that I go to place, I end up at his show. Like, I like him as an artist and I end up at his show, but we didn't have for some reason they wanted to charge him like $30,000 because it was St. Patty's Day, so it was going to be open for St. Patty's. They wanted to charge an obscene amount of money for us to shoot there for an hour, so that got completely shot. And he doesn't like cheesy videos, so he didn't want the meetup to be like him coming up to me and like a somewhere in New York. So he's just like, I'd rather keep it this way than make it cheesy.
Ah, okay, interesting. So it's more true life than
yes.
else.
He goes, I don't want to come up to you and be like, oh hey, can I have your like. He goes, his point is, I don't want it to be a Bow Wow video or one of the Chris Brown video. You know, he doesn't want that type of feel.
Yeah, actually, speaking of true life, now you kind of didn't live the true life when you were down there. They put you up in the W, didn't they?
Yeah,
you were living the life of a princess and a queen there.
With an open tab, it was awesome.
What's the most expensive thing you ordered on the tab?
Honestly, I mean, I'm not even gonna count the food. It's honestly the stuff that's in there that costs money.
Right.
Like candy, the Pringle box. Like who feels okay?
Well, like a little box of Pringles costs like $10.
Yeah, like $10. Like the nuts were like $15. It was like insane.
That is insane when you go to the corner store and buy them for $1 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how they get.
That's even expensive when you think about it.
Yeah, so I made sure to make business into pleasure and also hung out a lot.
And actually hung out. Where did some of the places you hung out? Let's lead into the last night, Sunday night. Go ahead.
Just Sunday night, or you mean in general?
No. So lead into it. You started off Friday night. I
started off Friday, and we went to Greenhouse and Griffin, which they're very. Anybody who knows New York is gonna know those places. They're very big places. Saturday night, I went to a more low key. It was called Glass with 2 C's. It was more had a Spanish field because I was with my best friend Aileen. She's Puerto Rican, so it was a little more Spanish field infused with hip hop. That was cool. And then the last night we went to the super exclusive. Enough said. It's called VIP room. There's no regular. It's all just VIP tables. Like if you're not in the VIP, you can't come to this club.
Gotcha.
Isn't that kind of
and
terrible?
Okay, so let's talk about who was there then, since this is supposed to be VIPs.
Oh.
So to your right was
all the Knicks players, the entire Knicks team was to my right, and directly in front of me was Rihanna.
There you go. So that was the real deal.
And she's beautiful. She's even prettier in person. If that can actually make.
Yeah, actually, I think you said she was just wearing jeans and a shirt too.
Jeans and a shirt, and she looked flawless.
Well, I mean, she's always dressed up to the max, and maybe that actually takes away from her natural beauty when you think about it.
Prettier. I mean, you could tell the jewelry made it. Like the choker she had, and really expensive Chanel, like really nice jewelry made the outfit. But she looked great. She's beautiful, and she was groovy. She was drinking Coronas. She wasn't even like. She literally had a whole stack of Coronas on her.
I'm sure Coronas still cost a lot, even in that club.
No, they do, but I just think it's funny that they don't sell Coronas at the club. They had them just for her.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
so.
That's interesting. She specifically asked for them, and they delivered. That's interesting. And actually, while she was partying, where was ex-boyfriend? He was in jail. He's still in jail, apparently.
He deserves that. He can stay in jail.
Apparently he got kicked out of rehab this past week, and the judge says, well, you know what? You get kicked out, you get to stay in this place for a little while.
And you know what? I know a lot of people that know him and work with him, and they say, I mean, we love that kid, but he has anger issues, and he's always had anger issues, so he needs something like that. Like, it's like a very well-known thing in the industry that Chris Brown has anger issues. So.
I tend to think that Justin Bieber might have anger issues, too, after seeing a few things recently.
He's just a kid that he got too famous, too rich, too quick, too young, and then he just think he's too cool for school. He's above the law. He just needs a good spanking. That's what my mom said. Like that kid.
He might like that. Let's be careful. It depends on who gives it, I suppose.
Don't mind my voice, everyone. I'm getting sick.
That's okay. But okay. Well, I mean, young artists in these days, I mean, they seem to be having more yes people around them that don't tell them what's right and wrong, unfortunately, and they end up, thinking that they can do whatever they want, but in the end, it doesn't happen that way. Look at Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Bynes and all the rest of them. They end up, ruining their lives, unfortunately, at least for the time being. You know what I was like? I did do a post recently on Justin Bieber after they saw him in his deposition.
That was terrible.
And what I remembered, though, was a lot of some bad boys actually turned their lives around. I mentioned Mark Wahlberg. I mean, he was always in trouble around here when he was much younger. He was getting into fights, in jail, all that other stuff. And look what he's doing now. I mean, he's doing some amazing stuff right now. So maybe Justin Bieber just needs to grow up. Robert Downey Jr., another one. He was in jail.
Yeah, I mean, things can change, but he's definitely
not in a good place right now.
He's rebelling right now.
Oh, I think it's beyond rebelling. I mean, rebelling.
Selena Gomez actually took him back, and they're back together now.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, God.
There's videos and pictures of them, and he professes love to her and apologized, and she's just too good of a girl for him. But I mean,
Yeah.
good girls love bad boys, I guess.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, she's at that age too where she hasn't quite figured it out. But then again, not a lot of people figure it out ever in their lives. So, that's why they end up with spouses that are usually not good for them. That's a good subject. Remember James Michael Sama, who was here last week? That's a good subject to talk about with James someday. We'll do another show.
We'll have him in again.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're definitely going to have him in again. As a matter of fact, we might be having another show with him, meaning like a different show.
That would be great.
That would be great. Now, that was a great show. I listened to that again several times, and I thought it was an excellent show. Speaking of guests, tonight we're going to be having a couple of members of the Miss Nightlife squad that was at the Nightlife Awards last week, and that should be 2 weeks ago, excuse me, and that should be pretty fun. We have Miss Nightlife herself and one of the runner-ups, and they're going to be talking about their modeling careers and what the experience was like for them. And next week we have one of the winners of the Nightlife Awards, the best band called Never in Vegas, and they'll be coming in. And we have someone very special and near and dear to you, Miss Danny Victor, who's known primarily for the Bad Girls Club.
One of the Victor twins.
One of the Victor twins, exactly. And she's on she's doing some new ventures right now, and she'll be coming in to talk about that. As a matter of fact, we'll bring this all full circle. Danny was one of our judges in the Miss Nightlife contest. So that was pretty cool that she did that too. I really appreciate it. I wanted to get a couple more female perspectives. We had a couple male judges,
Yeah.
Danny's really into fashion right now. So, her perspective was very important for us. So that's coming up next week. So make sure you stay tuned to our show for next week, 9 p.m. every Wednesday on all those things I mentioned before, dirtywaternews.com, performerradio.com, yourbusinessnetwork.com, TuneIn Radio, as well as a bunch of other outlets too, but those are the major ones. So right now we're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to bring Sade White in.
Nurse, I need you to apply pressure to the head wound until I can get to it. I'm concerned she's lost too much blood.
Oh, no.
You in the corner, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
She's my girlfriend, doctor.
You need to wait out in the waiting room.
Please, doctor, I want to stay with her.
Look, she's been badly injured. So if you want to do what's best for her, you need to let us do our work.
Please, doctor, she has to be okay. I didn't mean to do this. I love her.
Wait a second. You were the driver?
Yes, but I didn't mean to. I swear, we went to dinner. I was just buzzed. I only had a few drinks.
Just buzzed? Why didn't you tell us that? In that case, your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe this. Really, doctor? She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
And we're back, and we have our winner of the Miss Nightlife competition this past couple weeks, earlier this month, Miss Sade White. How are you doing, Sade?
I'm good. How are you?
You got this big, beautiful smile over there.
I'm nervous.
Why? Don't be nervous. It's just us. Nobody's listening to us. But no, okay, so you saw, apparently, how did you find out about the Nightlife Awards?
Well, I don't know. I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if I entered and I won, and so I was like, oh, let me just enter and see if I could get into this and win something like this.
So you were in it for the notoriety or the prizes? What are you really? Both. Okay.
And because it's a new experience for me, and I'm new to Boston, so I wanted to experience something that had to do with it.
So how long have you been in Boston?
Since January. I moved there. I have my own apartment. Yeah.
Oh, where were you from before that?
Attleboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, technically you were in the Boston area. It sounded to me like maybe you moved here from some other state.
No, but I know what she means. If you're not from Boston, you're not really from Boston. You can come here and
like the city is like, this is like New York for me.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
If you didn't grow up here,
Well, Attleboro is more like a suburb of Providence than Boston.
It's basically, you go to, I know people who live in Attleboro, and when they do go out, it's in Providence. Like, it's so far from Boston.
And it's exciting because it's like, yes, I'm going into the city to do something.
That's interesting. So, well, I mean, obviously you probably went into Providence a lot to do things.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about Providence that you liked, and versus Boston?
I don't know.
Nice
Honestly, I only went to Providence if I was going clubbing, or my agency's out there, my photographers are out there. So that's kind of the only reason I go there. Boston is like, there's new clubs I haven't been to. I'm 21. I get to go out. I get to experience like this whole new life for me.
That's awesome. Well, what are your favorite clubs in Boston right now?
Venue is definitely one of my favorites. I go there a lot. I don't really know a lot of them yet. Haven't been to all of them yet, but yeah.
Well, because you've only been here since January, so you got plenty of exploring to do this summer, apparently, right?
Yes.
That's good. Well, yeah, that's a good time a good age to be doing that, going out, having a good time, and having what you're supposed to do.
And as Miss Nightlife, it's kind of her job.
Exactly.
Yeah,
wow, this is perfect timing for you, right? So now you're Miss Nightlife. You get to go out and experience all these places, which you're supposed to do as Miss Nightlife, and have a good time. Well, that's cool. Well, you're going to be going to. At some point, down Ultra Lounge, where you're going to have a VIP party as Miss Nightlife.
I'm excited about that.
And
friends.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be popping the bottles and having a good time, and of course,
I
pictures.
Can drink now,
Drink responsibly, folks. No, that's PSA. I'm going to slide in there. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so you sign up online, and then you get the notification that you're one of the finalists.
It's funny because I signed up and then I didn't really know how it was going, like how to keep track of like the voting. I didn't even know there was voting. I didn't know I got picked for top 20. I didn't know I got picked for top 10. I just got an email and I was just like, wait, so a minute. And I was like so excited. And then I went and I reviewed everything. And I'm like, wait, I made like the top 20. I made like the top 10. Like I get to compete. And I was like really excited. And then I got there and I was just like, oh my God, I'm scared.
Well, I guess it could be a little overwhelming when you see that. I mean, the first experience you had is you walk in and there was the VIP party.
Yeah.
Right? So right off the bat, you're networking with people in the Boston area that are a little bit of stature to them, and then automatically the camera gets shoved in your face from Dirty Water TV.
I mean, for the first time, though, she got stellar reviews in the VIP party. Everyone loved your personality. So
I heard that.
Well, that's what it's all about, though. I mean,
that's what I was afraid. I was like, I'm so shy and I'm naturally quiet, so I'm like, I gotta get out here and mingle and just, be myself.
We're glad you took this time to come out of your shell.
Yes.
It's a perfect opportunity for you. I mean, 21 is a great age.
Yeah.
I remember it. Decades ago. It wasn't too far back for you, Amarie.
I mean, you're doing a good job. When I think the hardest judge who was judging was my cousin Danielle, and she loved you. You're one of her favorites.
I loved her.
She was definitely the hardest judge out of the three. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, she was.
That's why we needed her in there.
And
we needed a tough
Sade
cookie.
was one of her favorites. She loved her personality.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so did you have any plan of action going in?
No, I just told myself, I'm just going to be myself, and because I'm very conservative. Like, I like to cover up. I don't like anyone seeing anything. Like, I haven't really come out of my shell yet. As a woman, I haven't really gotten into like my body, especially like that has to do with like dance too, like learning how to love my body and being a woman. So I was just like, let me just go in there, be myself, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, well, part of the Miss Nightlife situation is you have to be social.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what it's all about. That's the more important thing. Yes, of course, we prefer attractive women, obviously, but I mean, being social is the key ingredient. Because if you go to a club and just sit there like a bump on a log, what good are you? Seriously, you want people. It's like a cruise director.
Yeah.
Okay, you want people that can engage other people, talk to other people, and apparently you did a very good job of that. That's why you're sitting here right at this moment. Okay. So when you first had the camera put in your field of vision and the mic sitting there, I mean, you must have been more nervous at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that was your first time.
Oh my God, there's a camera there.
Did you see that? Did you see the clip?
No.
It was on Dirty Water TV this past weekend.
Oh boy, I gotta go see it then.
Yes, you
I didn't even know you were NESN.
Yeah, Nesson.
No.
No, you didn't know? Okay, yeah, it was on this past weekend, and I think Jenny Rose caught it, and she was our first one.
She caught it.
She was all over the Facebook page at some point. And then I think Chrystian saw her too, because I think she texted me. Chrystian and Miranda, who's coming in a little bit after you, she texted me and said, when is it on, Mike? And I was like, okay, I posted it. I actually should have probably did a PSA. And
it was on at 11.
Yeah, it was on at 11:30. But they actually repeat them, and they actually put it online eventually. So that's something that we can definitely probably re-announce when the time comes, or post it after Dirty Water TV posts it. So you're in the VIP party, everyone's mixing and mingling, and then everyone moves upstairs to Howl at the Moon from Down Ultra Lounge, and you have to go change.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit more comfortable by that point?
Well, I did, but I didn't, because I felt more comfortable because I was like, okay, I got to talk to everyone, I got to mingle, but then I was like, okay, now I have to go change into a bathing suit, so it was just like,
Yeah. Some women are a little bit, especially when it's March.
Yes,
early
and it's
March.
cold.
Yes, it's cold, and we're going to talk about how cold it was in a second. But I mean, early March is. This used to be. I think originally when I first got involved, it was in October. Then it moved to December, and now it's in March. And you know, in October, most women are fine. They have still the summer, the summer color, the summer bodies. Okay, but in March, after a very grueling winter, and you put on a couple of winter pounds. I can imagine that somebody's like, I'm not really bikini ready yet, Mike. But
that's how I was feeling. I was like, no, I don't want to.
I can imagine. I mean, I'm obviously not a woman, but I can imagine. Even probably Amarie is like, I'm not bikini ready, Mike.
Yeah, but I decided to wear a completely see-through dress, apparently.
Yes, which was fabulous.
We're not going to... I guess Amarie was bikini ready, but yeah, she kind of had to be. We're not going to talk about that dress right at the moment, but we'll definitely talk about it some other. Well, we did talk about it, didn't we? Yes, we did. I think we did talk. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we did talk about it. Okay, so you were a little nervous, obviously. Well, actually, no. The first time you went on stage though was a casual.
Yeah.
Which you're still wearing the exact same outfit that you were wearing at the VIP party. And I did that for a reason. I actually set it up that way so you don't have to go and change and have that lapse of time where you get a little nervous. So I was like, hey, they're already dressed like this. People have already seen them. They get to go on stage, introduce themselves. Then the hard part comes. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. But, I mean, we also tried something different this time where we had live performers singing on stage.
That was fun.
That was fun. Okay,
Yes.
good. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
It made it a lot more, like, comfortable for me, too.
Right.
Because I got to, like, dance, and I also talked to, like, the performers beforehand, so I was like, yes, I get to talk to them, and now I get to be on stage with them, and I felt comfortable with them.
Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. It was something that we actually pulled from the Boston Fashion Awards a couple of years ago. We decided to do that, and it actually worked out pretty well to have the live performances. It's not like it's a little bit. It takes a little bit of attention off of you, but that actually makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
Okay, because some attention's on them at the same time as it is on you. It's kind of like a two-ring circus in a sense. So it actually works out great because we want you to go out to music, but you feel more comfortable because you're not the only person sharing the stage at that moment.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Now the first performer was Louis Bello. And he obviously is a veteran of the stage. And then for the bikini swimsuit section, we had B-Cap.
Yes, I was in love with it.
Every girl your age is in love with that guy. Good old B-Cap. He's actually going to be having a huge concert at the end of the month on the 30th in Brockton called the Jan Fest. Amarie was there last year with us. Amarie will be in Miami. I hate you. At the end of the month.
You know who's performing in there? My friend Jill Jensen is there.
Oh, sounds like
she just got added from American Idol. American Idol.
Yeah, she was from American Idol, right?
And from X Factor.
X Factor. Wow, both going on there, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. And so he's going to be appearing. So we'll just give him a little plug there. So B-Cap was on stage with you and having a good old time dancing and singing the song "Wow," which was so appropriate. We actually went through all the song choices and got songs that kind of fit with the moment, so to speak. So you were definitely nervous at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, no. At that point when I was on stage with him, I was so comfortable.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's, did he make you comfortable, or just
yes,
like you were getting used to the situation? Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad I put the right guy on stage right at that point in time. And so then that was over, and you got to go down, and then you changed into the evening wear, correct? And how was how were the transitions in terms of time and everything? Did you have enough time?
Yeah, we were very comfortable. We all rushed to go change, and then we were just sitting there just talking.
Okay, really that's fun. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we want you to talk about your experience on stage when you finally heard that you were the winner, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so we'll be back right after this.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Interviewing the best talent Boston has to offer. This is the Performer Radio Show.
And we're back with Sade White. And actually, her mom, Tiara Crawford, has joined us. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
How are you doing? Were you proud of your daughter that night?
Yes, I was.
That's good. I'm glad. So we're going to go back to your daughter real quickly. So you're standing there on stage in your evening wear, and we're starting to announce the winners. And what were your thoughts as we announced the second runner-up and the first runner-up?
I was nervous. I was just like, oh my God. I just wanted to be in the top 3 at that point.
Let me give something to the folks listening. Let me give something for their mind's eye. While they were announcing the winners, the whole entire audience kept yelling your number.
Yeah.
So how did that feel?
Number 9. I'm like, that's me.
How did that feel while they were actually yelling your number?
It felt good.
Yeah.
I thought, I was like, okay, I have a chance here.
Did you have a lot of family and friends there too?
Yes.
You did. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that should have helped you with the moral support, I'm assuming, right? I know Mom was there. I saw her a couple times. I saw her down in the VIP.
And when you see the video, you see where Sade got her looks from, because her mom is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
She is. I noticed that as soon as she walked into the studio. I was like, wow.
Did you think they were sisters at first?
Boy.
To be honest with you, you do not look like your
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Everyone said that. They're like, oh, it's your sister. I'm like, no, that's my mom.
It's good genes. Good genes.
There you go. That's it.
Healthy lifestyle.
That's going to say a lot about your future.
That's true. Very true.
Hopefully.
So now the announcement was made. You got the tiara. You were crying your eyes out.
I was, because it was so scary. It was just like, everything happened so fast, and then she announced it. I'm just looking at her like, wait, go back. So I won, and they're putting the crown on my head, and I get the flowers, and I'm like, wait, pause. We have to stop for 1 second. I'm just like, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. She's like, you're all right. You won. I'm just like, oh, okay, I won.
And then all of a sudden you're whisked away to take pictures and all this other stuff. So it must have been a great feeling at that point.
It happened so fast, though.
Well, yeah, we were kind of like, we had a schedule and we had to keep it. We were running a little bit late. Now, not saying that we're trying to take anything away from you, but when you have a set time, you have to be done. By state laws, you have to actually be done by then. Because they have the licenses said specifically you have to be done by a certain time. So they were rushing it a little bit, but that's okay. And everyone went back downstairs for the VIP party, and you got to enjoy that, I'm sure, for a little bit. Okay. So the next day you wake up, it's like Tuesday morning.
And I wake up to all these flowers and a crown. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. Because I had them right on like my side table. So I'm like, I wanted to like wake up and be like, oh, those are mine.
So let's talk about your modeling career real quickly. You've been doing this for almost 4 years now, right? Modeling?
Since I was 18. I started with Safari Modeling Agency in Rhode Island. And my agent, Kathy King, she like started me off with like more like runway. And then
You're 5'9", right?
Yes.
Yes, that's why.
I'm pretty tall.
Yeah.
and then I transitioned into like, doing like little
commercials.
And like little photo shoots to like build my portfolio and stuff like that.
So editorial shoots, commercial shoots, okay, stuff like that. Okay, cool. Have you worked for any specific company or product that you really loved? What was your favorite shoot? Let's try that.
Zach Lowe. He's probably my favorite designer that I work for, because I love shoes and my mom loves shoes. So being in his shoes was like, yes.
He won the accessories award for the Boston Fashion Awards the very first year. So yeah, very, very quiet gentleman too.
Yes.
He doesn't say very much, but he's an excellent designer, very creative. So you love shoes. What woman doesn't?
Yeah.
Nothing new there at all. Any other notable designers from this area that you worked with?
Probably the show that I did for White House Black Market. I love their clothing, as well as cachets.
What about runway shows? What's your favorite runway show that you've been in? I'm sure you've been in a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't remember all the designers, but I just know just for like Boston Fashion Week and of course Providence Style Week. Those are like the best shows I've been in.
Cool.
With the most designers, I get the most exposure. Yeah.
So Rosanna, who does Providence Style Week, you worked with her. Okay, you don't know her. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I know it is. I've been part of both of them as well.
And there's a lot of people.
I did. People ask me like, so which one? Oh, do you know this person from so and so? No, I'm just a model. You go.
Yeah.
They do my makeup and I get on a catwalk and that's as much as I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you did a lot of Providence shows because Safari is based in Providence, but now you're based in Boston. Have you thought about looking into some of the Boston agencies as well?
Not yet. I love Safari, and it works for me because I got to do a lot of stuff in New York with my agency as well as Providence as well as Boston. So I get to do things everywhere with my agency.
Well, does Safari have a mother contract for you, or is it just for the state of Rhode Island?
It's not. I know I have a contract, but it's not just for Rhode Island. Like I can work with other designers and.
Yeah, it's because I'm like most of the Boston agencies will have you sign. This is Massachusetts is a jurisdiction.
So you can't work with.
No, so you can work with other agencies outside. Like you can have a New York agency.
If at one point you wanted to sign with some of the models we have, whether it's Maggie or Click or any of the other big ones in Boston, you could.
As well as like New York or LA or Atlanta or Miami or whatever. So 4 years now almost, and you just recently moved to Boston.
Yes.
What are your plans for the future?
I plan on, I really want to go to the Air Force. So I plan on doing that, and I'm going to continue to study dance and criminal justice. I love Boston Ballet, and I want to just, be a victim's advocate, help retired war veterans and just help out. I want to help people. I'm not really sure everything I want to do.
Well, you're still young. You can change your mind a few times and still be fine. Have you changed your mind at all, Marie? Or are you still the same as you were at that age? Still the same. She's still doing what she needs to do.
Still the same.
That's all good. Now, your mom does some interesting stuff too. I mean, you've been preparing for the Boston Marathon this year, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm actually married to a former Patriot player.
Okay.
And being a part of that lifestyle, we've really dedicated our lives to volunteerism and giving back to the community. So with that being said, getting involved with the New England Patriots Charitable Foundation, it started pretty much when we left the league, and we've committed our time and our lives to that cause, as well as working. So I also do marketing for a healthcare company right now, and to make myself even busier, I've committed this year to run the Boston Marathon for the Patriots marathon team.
That's great.
I'm one of 49 team members, and our ultimate goal is to raise $300,000 for their charitable foundation, which pretty much gives back to youth and families in the New England area. And my personal goal is $4,000. So this Thursday, Tastings Wine Bar and Bistro at Gillette Stadium is hosting a fundraising event on my behalf, and I'm looking forward to pass my goal of $4,000 in hopes to really boost my team goal of
That's cool.
$300,000. So
Definitely cool. Now, did anything that happened last year at the marathon, during the marathon, have influenced you to start this?
A little bit. My lifelong goal was to always run the marathon since a young child. My grandmother was a big influence of that, and I was asked to run it last year, but the urgency wasn't there. And after the aftermath of what happened, it kind of gave me just a boost. And my grandmother turned 90 years old this year. And my other goal was to do it before I'm 40, so this would be the last opportunity. So the urgency.
She just revealed her age, too, folks.
The urgency
I know most women will not do that, but that's okay.
So what goes into a training for marathon, and how long? When did you start training?
In high school and college, I was always a sprinter, so that's what I did well. But preparing and getting in the mindset of running a marathon, I started out just conditioning my body and running at least 3 miles consistently. And once I got to that point, I had a comfort level. And when I committed, I started running and training in November. I have a partner. Her name is Donna Spigarola. She's the Director of Community Relations for the Patriots. And we've been side by side since November, training and preparing for this race. So it was tough in the beginning, but your body gets acclimated, and I've always lived a healthy lifestyle athletically, and it kind of was natural for me.
Yeah, we have a gym in our basement.
I do too, but look at me. That doesn't mean anything these days. If you have the time to do it, that's great. But no, yeah, I'm guilty. I should be spending more time in the gym. Okay, that's great. I'm glad to see that you're using your talents for something good like that. Yeah. And I hope everyone checks out the event this Thursday, tomorrow night, at the Gillette Stadium. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it is Thursday night, 6 to 9.
Yeah, that's great. And Sade, we want to wish you well. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff with us. Get used to these faces.
I will.
And it's going to be a great year for you, and we hope you have a lot of fun with it and enjoy it and network with people.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're going to be attending a lot of amazing events. Network. A lot
That's
of
what's
photographers.
Excited.
Yes, a lot of flash bulbs. Be prepared for that too. And yes, I think you're going to have a great experience, and you're going to have a lot to tell your kids and grandkids at some point.
Well, thank you for giving me this experience.
Well, you gave it to yourself
tell
too.
Everyone who wants to get to know a little bit about you, where your Twitter, your Facebook, any of your links.
It's all Sade J. White, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I also have a fan page, Sade J. White, and I have a website, which is www.sadejwhite.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, ladies, for coming through, and we'll see you very soon at some point.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help.
To help solve hunger in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest for RAD. Over 300 people in this country are killed every week by a drunk driver. That's the equivalent of 2 747 plane crashes every single week. And the problem isn't going away unless we all do our part to stop it. So if you see someone who's about to drive after drinking, get the keys. Don't leave it up to anyone else. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
And we have another contestant from our Miss Nightlife competition, Miss Chrystian Dennis Miranda. How you doing, Chrystian?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How have you been for the past couple weeks?
I've been great, actually.
That's good. You look lovely tonight.
Thank you.
Chrystian has the most amazing hairstyles. Your hair can do just about anything. And that night, you really looked amazing. What kind of hairstyle would you call that? Or do you have a special name for it?
No, it's just natural and wild.
That's your natural and naturally wild. That's a good hairstyle. So now you've been around the modeling scene in Boston for quite a few years now, right?
Yeah, 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
That's when you. I know you were a student, a mechanical engineering student at Worcester Polytech. Right. And what all of a sudden got you into modeling? It's an interesting comparison or contrast to being a mechanical engineer. What got you into modeling?
Actually, two of my cousins, one's from New York, one's from Atlanta. The one cousin from Atlanta actually suggested I have like a photo shoot for Christmas. So they both put together this photo shoot for me. One was like my stylist, and the other one was my makeup artist. And they just made this whole shebang, and I just had to do it. And I was so awkward and shy. And it was just like, it's to boost your confidence. They were just really looking out for me and trying to boost my confidence.
So were you shy in high school?
Oh, I was shy all the way until 10th sophomore year of college.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there any specific incident or activity that helped you come out? Because I know you were a cheerleader too, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was always the starring athlete. Like, I was rookie of the year for track and stuff. Like, I could always do things like that. But when it came to public speaking or being in the face and spotlight, that wasn't for me. I think it was more so like just getting into modeling more and being around people and just having to express myself through images. It allowed me to be more normal and just be myself.
That's awesome. Has modeling helped you come out of your shell even more all these years, or is it something a little different?
Actually, currently it's something a little different. Like, it's taken over my entire being. It's made me a better person who I am now. It's actually my team called Meet Me Up Top, and they're just a bunch of young entrepreneurs willingly helping to succeed and work on personal growth, and they've just been a great asset to my life so far. They pushed me to do public speaking. Now I can do this I would never been able to do on a radio station ever.
Wow. So is this the first time for you being on the air?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, great.
I'm glad it's with you guys.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's modeling something you're going to keep pursuing, or because you're also a mechanical engineer? What's...
Definitely. I love modeling. I think it's a great way of showing art, and I love art. I've always been into art for a long time, and I just want people to be able to have a reaction to my images and be able to speak about something, have a conversation about it. So I take my craft very seriously.
Do you ever see yourself doing something? Because I can picture her running for Miss USA, Miss Massachusetts.
That's what Miss New York told me.
Really?
Yeah,
interesting.
Hazel.
I can see her, and I can see her doing well because of her background. I know a lot of like the type of girls and backgrounds and stuff that they like. You would do really well.
Well, you did very well in the Miss Nightlife competition too. And it's it's not a pageant.
That's what I mean. But she would do great in a pageant. She's great. She's very poised. Her background, her medical engineer. You would do really well. I would look into that if I was you.
Definitely, I want to. I think you have to be under 25, so I got little time.
No, you have to be under 27. Oh, by the time.
Yeah, you can go up to 27. That's right. You get plenty of time still. You're a young woman. So you graduated from Worcester Polytech. Did you ever think, okay, I'm going to start with engineering first and see where it takes me? Or because right now, technically, you're not an engineer.
No.
I mean, in the sense that you're working as an engineer.
Yeah, actually, I had a co-op straight out of college, and I was working in EMC. I was doing like cloud computing and data storaging for their VNXE system. So it was a little over my head because I didn't go to school for computing.
I think it's over most people's heads. Thank you very much. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I did that for 6 months, and I just knew that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I'm a very fun person, outgoing, even though I'm very shy. I just love to travel and meet new people and very cultured. So sitting in four walls all day just wasn't for me.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, that's exactly what it was for me too. I started in mechanical engineering.
I know.
We've talked about this, okay? So I had the similar experience. I one day looked up and I looked around me and says, these are the people I'm going to be working with for the rest of my life.
Same here. I studied accounting. And
yeah, but you graduated still in accounting, and you still work in that field to some degree. But yeah, I looked around these people. I was like, they were dull as hell. And I'm like, I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with these people, like you said, inside those four walls. I'm not putting mechanical engineers down. They're absolutely necessary part of our society. But I liven up a little, guys. There's a little bit more to life than sitting in front of a computer. But then again, what do I do every day? Sitting in front of a computer, right? In a different capacity, though. But I get to enjoy meeting people like yourself and being part of the creative squad that's out there in this world, which is kind of fun. Not kind of fun, it's very fun. So, okay, your pictures are outstanding. You've worked with some excellent photographers. I'm assuming stylists too, fashion stylists, etc. You've flown all over to Atlanta, to New York. You've done some very exotic and provocative pictures, as well as very. You can see her in lingerie one second, and then in this very conservative Amish kind of look the next. But that's
the best type of.
That's the real. That's a real model. Okay, because you can go from one to the other and still knock that out of the park.
Right.
Okay, and that's the sign of a true model. And of course, we know that because of your height, you can't really do a lot of runway, but you do print.
Right.
Well, you've done runway too.
I have.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of the pictures. What do you like better, though? Do you like runway? I mean, it's a live feel there versus print.
I like the energy of runway, the little butterflies I get and stuff, and all the people you're around, and it's just a fast movement, fast pace. So I love that, but I absolutely love the images. I just take that to a different level. I'm in my own world when I'm on set. People have no idea how I am behind scenes.
So are you hands-on in the photo shoots, kind of how you want it to come out and the concepts and themes, or you kind of
I let the photographer do that, and I just bring my A game, whatever they want. I try to make sure I get the image that they're looking for. That's the key thing for me.
Do you prefer direction from photographers, or do you prefer
Absolutely.
to
I think there's always room for growth in anything. So.
Well, some models would prefer a starting point from a photographer. It's like, okay, where do you want me to go? And then they take over from there with their own natural instincts.
Right.
It depends on what you want the end product to be. But sometimes, a photographer can say, okay, here's my direction, this is where I want to go, and then you take the ball and run with it.
That's how it is. And then during the shoots, if you have any questions or comments, I'm all ears.
There you go. All right. As well as every other body part. So you've been doing this now for 4 years, is that right?
Yes.
So 2010. Where do you see yourself going with this?
With modeling?
With modeling specifically. We'll talk about the other stuff in a second.
I definitely see myself, I want to be able to be a figure for young women. I think a lot of girls from the ages of like 12 to 15 gravitate towards me, and I just want to be a role model for them and let them know that they are beautiful, because I did have a very self-conscious lifestyle before, and I didn't have the confidence I should have as a person that would look at me and be like, she's a very confident woman. I think that a lot of girls out there don't know that and don't have someone to tell them that they're beautiful, and I just want to be
that's awesome.
Advocate for that.
Do you feel like because of the modeling industry and the fashion profession that a lot of women feel very self-conscious about their image?
Absolutely. Definitely. And I didn't want to ever use like all my setbacks, like my height and certain things. I always try to make it a point where that shouldn't be an issue. So I feel like every person should commit to a dream that they want to do without having the restrictions or caring about them. So
did you find yourself blocking yourself more, or there were actual physical roadblocks or mental roadblocks that were put in front of you by other people? Or were you your own worst enemy?
Oh, I'm always my own worst enemy. Okay. That's what I'm working on now.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
My biggest critic, yeah.
You're your biggest critic. What about friends? Did they always support you? Or
absolutely.
They did.
My friends think I'm going to be this major person, and they can't wait to be my entourage. And I'm like, you guys are hilarious.
They're planning on the big VIP parties already. Amarie knows what that's like, right? Do you have a lot of people, Amarie, that just kind of like follow you around like an entourage? Do you have anybody like that?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I've asked, people have written me, can I be your friend? Can I go out with, I'm not making this up.
Right out of the blue?
They write me messages. They're like, hey, my name is Kelly. Oh my God, you're so, I know everything about you. What you do, is it like, can I hang out with you? Like go out with you one of the nights? I'm like, no.
There's your future right there, Chrystian, right across the table from you.
There's your future, Chrystian. A lot of fake pages and a lot of fake people being really nice to you.
Have you had a catfish sighting?
Never.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so
wait for it. I see it in her near future.
Yes, I do too, definitely. So now you're not signed with an agency yet.
No.
You've been doing this all on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, I've tried a few agencies, but I think just at that time I didn't have like the material that they probably wanted, so that's why I went so hard this past like 2013 building my portfolio and just like, showing them that I'm very versatile, and I thought that was a great thing to show people that even though without my height I am.
Well, you're very beautiful ethnic look. You're Cape Verdean, correct?
Yes, Cape Verdean and Italian.
And Italian. Ooh, what a beautiful mix.
That is a great mix.
Isn't it?
I thought she was Hispanic.
Well, I'm sure you get that a lot.
For some reason, every gorgeous girl I see, I'm like, she's Hispanic.
Well, they do that of you all the time too, right? Obviously, yeah. I know you're half Hispanic. You're half Hispanic, but the other half is European, Irish, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Well, I mean, that's a beautiful ethnic mix. I mean, one African country and or nation and you're European, so you're kind of like you're that hemisphere. If you want to call it that mix. Did your parents meet here in the United States or?
Oh yeah, they're both from here, born and raised. Yeah.
Born and raised. Okay, so you're what, second generation, third generation?
Third.
Have you been to Cape Verde?
No, I want to go this year.
It's a beautiful island.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it.
Listen, we're going to be taking a quick little break here, and we'll be right back with Chrystian.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn?
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how.
Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Models, singers, comedians, dancers, and so much more. This is the Performer Radio Show.
And we're back with Chrystian, Dennis, Miranda. So, Chrystian, you have obviously an amazing shape. How do you stay so fit?
Well, I haven't really faithfully worked out.
And where do girls like you come from? Seriously, what planet do you come from? I just need to know this. Tell me you
must be in my genes, honestly.
Please tell me you don't eat a lot too.
I don't. I'm actually
so you
by an accident healthy person. That's what I tell people.
Oh, by an accident?
By an accident.
What, you don't like French fries and all that other stuff?
No, I love French fries.
Okay.
I'm not big on like sweets. I like baked goods, but I'm not a candy person. I don't really like fried food, really.
You see, I'm kind of the same way. Like that fried chicken and stuff, I've never liked it. Fast food, I barely eat. I ate it today for the first time that I have in months. Like I just don't like that type of food.
Before we came to the studio tonight. Well, what's your favorite meal? What kind of food do you like the most? Just curious.
Ooh, I like West Indian food and Spanish food.
West Indian and Spanish food. Well, maybe that's why people probably mistake you for being Hispanic. Right? Especially West Indian food. You like spicy, like Jamaican?
Yeah, I've grown to like it. I wasn't big on, obviously, Italian. You just have pastas.
Oh, I was going to say, a lot of carbohydrates and stuff like that. Well, that's no wonder why you're staying in shape. You're not eating a lot of carbohydrates and you're doing okay. Okay, so cool. So does your normal diet consist of anything like straight up, like you said you don't like junk food, but like American pizza?
I love bread. I love bread. I'll have a whole basket of bread and butter any day.
Oh, really?
How I feel about bread is how I feel about cheese. Like people who can't eat like cheese, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah,
like, I'll just sit there and I'll
amazing.
eat cheese by itself.
Yep.
That'll change. Give it a couple years. Give it a couple years.
It's just
It'll
so
change.
good.
I used to love cheese too. Now look at me. I used to be thin at some point, but I didn't take care of myself. But that's the way things go. Hey, I'm old enough. I can say I don't give a damn anymore. Oops. I'm not supposed to swear, but that's technically not a swear anymore. Anyway, so okay, you're at this age now, and you're branching out. Now you are doing something else in your professional career. You mentioned it. You alluded to it earlier. What is this? How did you get involved in this?
I've got involved with this company called 5 Links. It's a network marketing company. I've been in it for 2 years, but I would say nobody knew I was in business until the last 6 months. And that's because I was way too shy to open my mouth and bless people with an opportunity to be able to receive residual income on a part-time basis. So basically the company 5 Links is based on essential services, so they can save people on all kinds of
bills,
things.
like gas, electric,
gas,
things like that.
We even stepped into wellness, so we have a healthy coffee now that has MCT oil that Dr. Oz actually raved about.
Oh,
so you
cool.
can lose pounds while you're drinking coffee.
That's their secret. Okay, now we know. Drink coffee.
I know, I don't even like coffee, but I'll drink that.
Actually, I don't like coffee either, so we're the same. But then again, you're in healthier shape than I am, so it's not the coffee, obviously. So do you find that your, again, modeling and other activities have helped you come out of that shell to be able to talk to people, or is this something that you're just learning as you go along?
It's definitely been the people and what I put myself around, absolutely. Especially the people, I would say, because they're so much into just building me and making sure that I'm a better me. And I actually broke down recently in Chicago. We had a training, and they asked me, explain to people what Meet Me Up Top has done for you and what being in business has done for you. And it's beyond me. I can't even explain it to my family and friends. So it's just being around positivity all the time. That's one thing you can absolutely guarantee, is when you're around them, they're looking out for the best interest for you. And I just absolutely love that. And they became more of a family than a lot of people that I've known for years.
That's cool. So in other words, the positive influences helped you come out of your shell too.
Yes.
I did peep your Facebook page not too long ago, and your birthday's coming up soon. And I saw you. She doesn't want to go to a concert like you, Amarie. She wants to go see Tony Robbins for her birthday, which I think is the coolest thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. That's very cool of you. I mean, seriously, most people are I want to party and pop champagne and whatnot, but no, you want to go see Tony Robbins. I applaud that. That's very unique. Going back to the Nightlife Awards now, you decided to enter, and you looked stunningly gorgeous. I remember that. Was it a peach color? Is it peach color, or is it
it was a orangey tangerine.
Yeah, tangerine kind of color. Yeah, I mean, obviously I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, so I saw you couple of times. And like we said to Sade, the moment you get into the VIP reception, a big giant camera from Dirty Water TV gets put in your face, and you get interviewed right away. Did you happen to catch the segment on Dirty Water TV?
I haven't, but a lot of my family has since I posted it on Facebook. And it was like, I recorded it, and I'm like, where is this?
You couldn't find it?
On TV?
Yeah, because I never watch TV, so it's like, I don't know what channel that's
You have a TV, please, I hope.
I do.
Okay, good.
40-inch.
At least you're not totally in the dark. Okay, yeah, it was on Dirty Water TV, and thank God they interviewed every single one of you girls, and saw you all on stage, and saw that you get your crown and everything else like that. It was pretty cute. I'm sure you get to see it at some point. I mean, I have to tell all
these. Is it on the site?
No, it's not on their site yet. It was just broadcast this past weekend on Nessun.
So they showed it. They usually show it twice.
Yeah, they did show it twice on Saturday night and Sunday night. Yeah, they showed it twice. So it'll be on again. She's making a little face right now. I missed it. No, it'll be on again. And when it does come on again, we'll repost it.
Okay.
Make sure everyone gets to see it. So that'll be fun. So I mean, you're in the middle of all this craziness, and all these people are paying attention to you and whatnot. How did that feel for you?
It felt great. I actually never experienced anything like that, like a pageant-like type of feel.
Yeah, it was a pageant-like kind of. Yeah, it was a little bit pageanty in terms of the way we set up. Actually, when I did first conceive of how it was going to flow, I looked at Miss USA. I was like, well, how do they do this? They come out in their casual outfits first, and then they do the swimwear, and then they do the evening gowns.
Okay.
So I wanted to have it something of a similar setup, and I figured it was easier. I told Sade this earlier in the broadcast. That it was easier for you guys to just naturally just go upstairs in the outfits that you're already in, and just go right on stage since you're already acclimated to that, and everyone's seen you. The ones that didn't know you could get introduced right away. Did you meet some interesting people? Who was your favorite person that you met that night?
I did. I met two gentlemen. That one was an attorney, and the other one, what else did he do?
So that's how we roll, folks. That's how we roll, folks. Attorneys and accountants.
Attorney and accountant. So they helped each other out as friends and stuff. So I mean, they were just very funny people.
But for you, that's even better than meeting a rock star, isn't it? That's more your thing at this particular.
Right.
But that's cool. I mean, did you enjoy it? Go ahead, Amarie.
I know. I was saying how it's funny because I heard some comments of people saying, between Chrystian and they said, Chrystian and Jenny have similar looks.
Right.
I bet only one of them's gonna place because they have similar looks, and they both ended up placing. So
yes,
so much
that's true.
Like there's no way both of them can. They're both
actually. Let's take a look at the top three. They're all ethnically based young ladies.
I was very proud of that because I don't think it was like that last year.
No, it was not. No, as a matter of fact, no. Jess won. Well, technically, Jess is ethnic. Jessica Graff is ethnic too. She's half Brazilian, so I mean, you could say that. But that's pretty cool. But we, it's not about race or anything else.
No.
It's about these women, their natural beauty, their ability to appeal to other people through their networking and social skills, and that's what it's all about. And I'm very happy that you guys.
No, but even when you put yourself in a setting like that, at this day and age, it still is there some like negative connotation to being ethnic. You think like your chances are lower, and that's just what it is.
It was predominantly white people in the audience, so it wasn't as expected, and I loved it.
And even the judges were white, except Danielle. And Danielle's half white.
So okay,
it was amazing. I loved it.
Two was it? We'll figure that out. The percentages anyway. The 75%.
But I like that you guys made us interact with the crowd. I didn't expect that, and actually it put fire under me that I had to go speak to people. So it was a good testing.
Well, we didn't tell you who the judges were at that point either.
No.
That was the whole point, is to make sure that you interacted with everybody and didn't just schmooze or basically kiss butt for the other people that you knew, that you thought were going to be the judges. And that's why we secretly didn't say anything until you actually came up on that stage. But that's important that you can do that for everybody anyway. That's what part of being Miss Nightlife is. And even though you didn't win and Sade won, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to be.
I love that she won.
Yeah, she's an adorable young woman.
Amazing.
She was on here earlier, and she's just so sweet.
Yes, she is very sweet. But you all were sweet. You all did a very good job, and I'm very proud of all of you. And I'm glad that you came and did your thing. And now you're here.
She did great.
She did excellent. Very good. I mean, it's tough to pick a winner when you have that much quality. That many quality young women in one room. That's why these pageants, it's very tough for these not just pageant directors, but the judges. Like, this is not easy. But that's part of what being in a competition like that is.
And it's good since you get to break out of your shell a little bit. You've never done anything like that before. Trying to interact with the crowd, so it helped you out for future things.
That's the whole point. I mean,
Sade took that over. She's so bubbly and she felt nervous, but she's great at it. So
that's a great grace
you
under
learn
pressure.
from anyone. Like, even though I've probably been in modeling longer than her, I was learning something from her just by being around her.
People just loved her. Yeah, her personality. She did really good for someone who's never done it and is still kind of shy.
And we were prepping up me and Jen and like giving her confidence backstage, and she's like, "I'm so nervous."
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys
amazing.
helped her out. That's incredible. We're talking about Jennifer Rose, who came in the first runner-up, and we'll have Jennifer on some other time in the very near future. So that's a good thing too. It's just like American Idol, though. Not everybody thinks that you need one winner and that's it. You basically all kind of won.
Right.
You know, I mean, you networked, you found other people. You're sitting here right now. You were on Dirty Water TV. You feel good about what you did, and everything. Everybody wins in the end. It doesn't matter. And you still got a nice little tiara and some flowers too.
Yep.
You know, and you know, we're going to invite you to do some other things as well during the course of the year, because you're just a cool girl anyway. So
thank you.
There you go. All right, we're going to have to close this segment right now. Chrystian, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Is there any place where the people can find you?
Yeah, give me your Twitter.
At This Is Chrystian. That's all my social media. So,
and spell your name.
Chrystian is Chrystion.
That's why I have him spell. That's why I had her spell it. Next week we've got Danielle Victor coming in, and we got the group Never in Vegas, who also won a Nightlife award on that night. So we got to wrap this up. Amarie, you want to say any shout outs real quick? All right, that's it. Your time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You blew it. All right. Until next week, folks, this is Mike Zotos and Amarie Ortiz, who is speechless at this moment. That's really hard to believe.
Long weekend.
Yes, it was a long weekend. So we'll see you next Wednesday night, same time, same place. Good night, everybody.